What is up, Fit Fam? All right, today's video is going to be a tough one, but it's stuff that needs to be said. I'm experiencing some regain, about 20 pounds. Now, this video is going to be kind of long, but I think it's important that you listen to the whole thing because I'm going to go over everything that I think is contributing to this issue. Do not fall for the common things that you might hear like this. Oh, it's just muscle. It's okay, you don't look like you're gaining weight. Don't believe the scale's bad. Diets don't work. It's because you dried your shirt in the dryer and that's why it feels tighter. Now, these are what good-minded people say sometimes, and it might even be stuff that you think. But actually, it's a convenient belief that could be the gateway to more regain. Okay, so let's recap my situation. I got down to my lowest weight last November. Now, my goal for maintenance was to stay within a 10-pound margin of that lowest weight. And I was able to do it with no problem from November of 2022 to August of 2023. As some of you know, I took a 6-month break from social media. And during that time, I had done some work around my house. And so I wasn't working out as much. I was working out daily, but I was not doing 2 workouts a day. It was one 1-hour workout. So my workouts were cut back. Toward the end of August going into September, my wife and I had started doing things outside of the house that put us on the other side of town. We were having a lot of fun and we were usually gone over the lunch hour, so we wanted to go out to eat. We ended up finding this cool little restaurant, hole-in-the-wall place, great food, and we started going there once or twice a week while we were out and about. Now, if you're doing low carb, you know it's kind of hard to order sometimes when you go to restaurants. That's why I stick to certain restaurants. Because I've found certain restaurants that are very easy to order low carb and they're cheaper than other places. Now, this restaurant that my wife and I found that we had started going to, it was not that easy to order low carb there and they didn't really like doing substitutions. So completely out of convenience, I actually started eating carbs when we were at this restaurant. Pivot! It wasn't crazy, but it would be like I would order a burger without a bun, but I would eat the fries, and sometimes my wife and I would have their chips and salsa. I would cheat at that one meal only. We were on a break! It wasn't like an all-day thing, but I was doing it 1 to 2 times a week for a good 2 months. Am I a slacker? Give me an answer. So I know this played a big role in the regain. However, it's not that simple. One of the difficult things about a weight loss journey is you're on your own. Nobody's actually there holding you accountable every second of the day. So you have to be honest with yourself. And the only way you're going to get better is to be honest. The only way you're going to get through some of these slumps is to be honest with yourself. Only you know what you've been doing. And here's something that I started doing over the last 6 months. These stupid Atkins M&Ms are my downfall. Not so much because they're off diet. It's because when I have them, I end up having more than what I should. 1 bag leads to 2 bags. And before you know it, you've eaten 300 or 400 calories. Yeah, it's low carb, but it's not helping out your overall calorie consumption. The other thing is I tend to turn to these salted almonds for that crunchy, salty fix. And some of you will say, well, what's wrong with that? Well, my problem is I'll run to the kitchen, have 3 or 4 almonds, go back to work, then an hour later, go back in, have 3 or 4 more almonds, and so on, and this goes on throughout the day. And all those little trips to the almond bag end up adding up to extra calories throughout the day. So if we're being honest here, it's not because I dried my shirt. It's not that I'm not exercising. It's not that I'm gaining a ton of muscle. It's the fucking food! Now, before I get into talking about what I'm going to do to get back on track, we need to talk about how scary it is and how easily the regain can come back. Now, I'm going to say something right now that some people in the fitness community would say bullshit to. And that is, this 20 pounds snuck on without me noticing. And here's how it happens. I had gotten really lazy about weighing myself in the last 6 months. I was not seeing any changes when I looked in the mirror. The pants that I bought when I got down to my lowest weight, a size 34, there was no change in how they were fitting. I could still put on a size large jacket, no problem. The only triggers that gave me an idea that I should check the scale was the fact that a couple of my shirts were feeling a little snugger. And this is going to sound really weird. There's a vein in my arm that when I got down to my lowest weight and to my maintenance weight, when I was working out, I could see the vein really clearly. Been working out recently that vein was a little bit harder to see. So clearly that 20 pounds must be going everywhere. That's why I'm not noticing it in one place. So if you ask me, yes, it can creep up on you without you noticing. But the important thing is catching it early enough and recognizing that you got to make some changes. Which brings me to what I'm going to be doing now. My fitness levels are going to stay the same. Goal is always 2 workouts a day. Sometimes I do 1. It's usually 2 workouts a day through the work week, and then on the weekends, I do 1 workout a day. My breakfast is pretty much been the same since the beginning, so I'm gonna keep that meal the same. As I've stated in previous videos, if I do a weight training workout, which I am planning to do 3 days a week, I will be following that with protein shakes. Maybe on some days, protein from a burger or something, but it'll just depend on what I've eaten that morning. I'm gonna cut out the almonds unless they are actually part of my meal and have been measured out. Pay closer attention to my portion sizes at dinner. I'm absolutely getting rid of the Atkins M&Ms. There's no point to me eating them. I wasn't really a sweets person before I started my weight loss journey, so why start now? And clearly I'm having trouble controlling myself when it comes to those. So I just assume not have them around. And it's gonna take discipline on my part to do this, you guys. And the only person that's gonna know if I'm actually being better is me. A lot of this journey we do is alone and by ourselves, and you've just got to get comfortable with that. And that's why every time you win, every time you do what you say you're going to do, you're building that mental toughness, and doing these things become easier. I'm not upset that I'm going to have to cut out the M&Ms and cut back on my almonds. I'm more looking at it as,
now, I'm like, okay, well, that sucks.
Yeah.
All right, well, what the fuck does it teach me? What I learn here?
You're looking for the lesson
automatically.
Yeah.
Like I'm automatically moving from the victim point or the self-pity point to the lesson immediately.
but the important thing is that I do it, and I do it now because I want to get back to my maintenance weight. And 20 pounds, if you're not careful, can turn into 40 pounds. And that's just the reality of this journey, you guys. And that's why a lot of us out here are always saying there is no finish line. Stay hard. You're always battling the inner fat person. I get it, and it sucks, but that's what we got to do. Because the rewards of losing the weight and keeping the weight off is so much better than the silent struggles that some of you are dealing with being overweight. All of us who are overweight know what those are, and we know that we don't like them, and it's much better fighting to get down to where we want to be. Anyway, guys, that's some hardcore self-reflection on myself for you on this Motivation Monday. The struggle is real. Keep grinding, y'all. Fat Guy out. Peace.